Welcome everybody to our part 2 of Wolfenstein: The New Order. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still there.
I don't know why you would use new in 2 of your games. New Order, New Blood. I don't get that. It
I
makes
saw
confusing.
that. Yeah, I pulled up a walkthrough for New
they
Colossus the
do.
other day. I'm like, what is this shit? I'm like, oh, this is not even. Yeah.
So anyway, welcome back to part 2. We're continuing on. I know we missed a week or so with the holidays and our top 10s and all of that. We're back on schedule now. Preston, this is your game, so
Yeah.
I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
For sure. All right, well, let's get this note back up because I wanted to minimize. There we go. All right, so continue on part 2 for Wolfenstein: The New Order. Starting with chapter 7. We're going through 7 through 11 and stopping when we start 12. So we go over what info we grabbed at the last place with Anya. She talks about the super concrete, the Uber concrete, the Nazis made. She asked us to grab some records from the archives so we can cross-reference people connected to the Diat Ishud from these files to the Nazi prison records. Anya also has us grab that pieces of concrete so she can study as well. Anya gives us a big smooch, and then we go into the hangar and do some grabbing. So we go to the hangar to find some of the concrete.
Not the only time we do some grabbing in this
I know.
playthrough.
There's a lot more than I expect in this game, for sure.
He's making up for 14 years, all right? Give
That's
him a
fair.
break.
That is fair. We go out to the hangar to find some of the concrete infected with the mold, but we need the saw to extract it. And as soon as we do, we fall into the sewers. So this opens it up, because I thought this was going to be another one of just walk around the HQ to grab some parts and stuff like that, but nope. There are some more open areas of this HQ spots to where the Nazis still have some things as well. So as we fall into the sewers, we go and take out some Nazi cameras. We get the reflection upgrade for the laser craft work. And then we also take out some drones and then make it all the way back up. As we are trying to saw out the concrete, Max freaks out at the saw noise, and we get more background on Max and Klaus here. I'm not going to go over it all, but here when we get like these small little cutscenes in between, like in the middle of the missions, we get some really good writing and some background for some of these characters. So with Max and his whole horrible background with his wife and their kid and what happened with them, and how Klaus with his wife, and how Max is kind of like his not real son, but like surrogate son, I think is what you call it. We get the chunk of concrete, so now we got to go and go to the archives. The archives is locked, and depending on which timeline we have, either Jay or Tekla will tell you that Wyatt or Fergus may have the keys. As we go to get the keys, this is where we get... there's 2 variations of these cutscenes, obviously, because we're going to talk to Fergus, we're going to talk to Wyatt. Both of them kind of have the same reaction, just with a little bit of variance. So as we see, Wyatt is pissed off at us for choosing them. They feel they're a horrible leader and was put in this situation way too young. Really good writing output here. He felt he needed to pick up the pieces and lead the resistance, and felt his ignorance got way too many people killed, and that we chose the wrong person.
So we save him. He voluntarily picks up himself as a leader
He feels he
of the
needs to.
resistance out of guilt, and then is mad that we put him in this
there's no one
position
else.
to where...
There's no one else.
Yeah, he was the only person who could lead that, as far as everyone else that was concerned, involved, or still around. So he's like, I had to do it. He's like, no one else is around to do it, so I had to do it, and I had to, pull up by my bootstraps and do it. But I was way too young. I was ignorant, and my, lack of knowledge got people killed due to that. It's like, so you made the wrong decision. You chose Fergus. Gives us keys. Slams the door.
I don't know why you're getting some. This seems like
some survivor's guilt that you're putting on me. You need to trauma dump to a therapist, sir. It's not my fault.
I think this is a totally normal thing of like why did you choose me? It doesn't make any sense.
Because you get that on the same side.
Yeah,
so
that's that survivor's guilt. But it's not. Don't put that shit on me.
He's upset.
Right?
He's upset
but you're the person who saved him.
Yeah, you're the one person who made the decision.
It's like the same thing. Like if you get those people who have survived, like when they get pulled out of a car wreck. And then the other person dies, and then they just look at the firefighter or whoever did it, and they're like, "Why? Why did you choose? You should have picked the other person."
Mm-hmm. So the walkthrough I do see, like I get the Fergus timeline, right? So if you save Fergus, it's similar, but he tells you that Wyatt should have been saved because Fergus is getting too old. He's worried about who will keep it going. He's like, I'm frail, I can't do a whole lot. He's like, both give you the key and slam the door. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting to where like Wyatt's pissed off because he's too young and green behind the ears and feels that he fucked up and is not a good leader, but he had to get into those shoes. Fergus is like, bro, I'm way too fucking old for this. Like, who's going to do the resistance when we're gone? Like, we're both way too old. Now, obviously, BJ is a fucking brick shithouse, so I don't know how old needs to be before he can't do anything. But Fergus, like, if you see him, like, in some of these other cutscenes, like, further on, like, in the Fergus timeline, he's getting skinnier, and it's just, obviously older. So he doesn't feel like he can't do everything that he should have been able to do if he wants to lead a resistance type of deal. So we get the keys. They all slam the door on us. We get back to the archive, grab the documents, and go over the info. Cue the Tarantino plan music. We need someone who knows the concrete. Anya found out that the Diat Ishud helped with creating a lot of the Nazi technology, including the concrete. And in prison, there is someone who matches both the profiles of the Diat Ishud and the Nazi prison files. That is Set Roth. Someone needs to go undercover. ... Us. So we get in as a prisoner. The Belicia forced labor camp in Croatia. We see it is run by the crazy lady from the train and her boy toy. They pick us out of the lineup and have us go to work making cement.
Can I pause really quick on this? So this starts off where you are in line walking down rows, and there's just rows of prisoners, rows of people, and you're walking like in line, and there's like high ledges to either side to like separate everybody, like these big barriers, and there's like guards walking along. I did not like this part. There was something that felt a bit too real. That like immediately, like I turned around and looked backwards at like all the faces, like the people chained up and walking, and like there was just something in the environment that they did with this scene, as they're yelling and people are being forced to walk and some people are being beaten and other stuff, that felt so accurate to the Holocaust. It made me feel
think of the baby scene. Like the whole point, you're getting out of the train at the beginning, like the very first part of this whole, like before you meet that lineup, and it's you in a big crowd trying to get out of a train, and there's one person like holding up the baby to that crazy lady, and she grabs it by the toe, like the foot, with like two fingers, and is like smacking the other person, and it cuts before you see anything happen, but I guarantee she just took that baby and threw it behind her or some shit.
Yeah, that's true. You do start off coming out of the train. It was good. Like the developers did an amazing job, but like they did too good in this part where it actually made me feel a little uncomfortable. And like, I'm sure that's the point, right? Like, and it was a really good job, but like, 100%. I was like, holy shit! Like, it made me feel a weird type of way.
I think that part of it is based on the developer's location and the fact that they've lived in Europe their whole lives. Like, I think that they probably have a pretty solid understanding of and able to try to sort of bring that moment to life.
Oh yeah.
More so than like what other developers could. Certainly, what regular Bethesda could have done.
Yeah. Or even id for that matter.
Yeah.
All right. So here, as we're going into the concrete area, or the making of the concrete area, we meet Bombate, one of my new favorites, who lets us know how to get to the block with Set Roth in it. They say we need to create a distraction so we can talk to the other gentleman on the other side who has a, not a jersey, but like an outfit, like a jumpsuit for that block. Bombay tells us his wife is actually in our block, so we can just switch, outfits, and we can go into his, he can go into ours, meet back up with his wife, and we can go and see Set Roth. Here, we make some concrete and play the mix-a game, and we play it very hard, so that way a piece falls off, and we toss that part into the mixer, and boom, distraction. So we get to the guy with the uniform and let them know about their wife. In the block, switch uniforms. They tell us to go exit. And from there, we get into the block and find Set Roth. He's tending to an injured prisoner. Here we have, again, really good writing with a conversation between BJ and Set that we can get them out and help, so he can help us out with resistance. He's like, oh, you're going to rescue me? Well, who's going to rescue him? It's very funny that you should, have this great, wonderful plan. He's like, but you don't have anything. Here he gives us a little nickname called Shim Shem. He says he knows that the tech. He knows the tech in the guard mech that's there, and he says he can control it. But to do that, we need to get into the barracks to get the control module and disable security so we can get into another part of the prison. Here we go in through the dead body chute, and as we make our way in, a Nazi, who's called the Knife, catches us and ties us to a chair. Here, I don't put a lot of the dialogue in here, but I just say that they cut, stab us, and they are mainly just talking shit until we pass out. So we wake up before getting cremated.
We do get stabbed in the belly. That is never addressed again, by the way.
No. He's like slicing us. He's like just going at us and taking us out and like just gives a good old stab. And I'm assuming because
the assumption is that based on the way that BJ is just healing because they have. Yeah. I mean, there's times where like you get grabbed by guards sometimes, and they start stabbing you, and then you stab them back.
Yeah,
and then you just like. I mean, I think it's just established at this point.
Yeah, he can handle it.
Again, it's the hatred of the knife. It heals time. It heals all wounds. It's just
yeah.
So
you wake up in a pile of bodies about to get cremated, and from here we stealth kill our way through. I'll just say that I was able to stealth kill a good chunk of the way. They also make it pretty... Go ahead.
I have a moment here. So one of the stealth kills, I had like a throwing knife that I found. I used it, and I had one of the nastiest crashes in a video game I have ever experienced. Where this dude's back was to me. I throw the knife, it hits the knife, and he's like, and then the game just stopped, and I was like. And then it just shut off completely, and I was like, "All right, I'll be restarting that now."
I had that happen in this level too. Game just shut to home screen on Steam Deck, and I had to restart it. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I was like, "All right, yeah." It was so
the Steam Deck thing. Yeah, it did not happen to me at all. But yeah,
I also there's either this place or the next place where you stealth kill a dog because there's a dog around, and I took a photo of it, and it's on my phone.
It's in the train area.
I did it specifically because like the dog's there, and you see like. The metal going through the arms and through the skin and bolted on. And I just wanted to share that because Preston said last time
felt bad about
the doggos were normal doggos with armor on them. And that is not true. Not. So I took a very up-close photo so know...
Even if they were, they're just racist dogs. It's okay.
They're not so
no, but he gave me shit about it. So
I wanted to make sure. I was just more like I felt bad about it because of the sound that they make.
Are you trying to tell Alex how to feel right now? Are you trying to belittling his feelings?
Yeah, it's 2026. I gotta get my first gaslight in as soon as we can. All right. So he says he knows the tech and the guards. Blah blah blah. We did all that kind of stuff. Yes, we're going through and making our way through stealthily. I was gonna say that through a lot of these like main stealth missions where they really want you to do so, they make it fairly easy, I would say. Now, don't be wrong. I'm sure it depends on your level of difficulty, which mine's now down at easy, not baby mode yet. We're at easy still. But the guards will usually have their back turned to you. They usually have a pattern to where most won't have two guys in the same area, at least for me. So most of the stealth getting through here, I had pretty much no problem stealth killing everybody in this entire building.
I'm still playing on normal, but I don't think...
I'm playing on normal.
If memory serves, I do not think...
and damage?
Yeah, I don't think enemy density changes at all. Yeah.
So we go through all here, killing people. We do, I think you find even like the ladies... No, that's in the next area. So we find control module, and we shut off the security system. We meet back up with Set in the prison grounds, and now we need to sneak through the factory to get to the control building for a battery. So again, more stealth takedowns. Going through there, this is a I don't say management building, but like this is pretty much where everyone like has their offices. Even the crazy lady has her office in here because he even goes in there. It's like I can smell her in this room. A lot of fun.
I mean, you can also see her gigantic 10-foot photo.
Yeah, you do see. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, too, in the main building.
There's that too.
Yes, there is also that. More stealth takedowns, and we grab the item, but end up shocking the shit out of ourselves and fall down and slightly pass out. I think we're trying to saboteur something, end up taking us away, and she decides that we're just going to execute the entire block. Cut to all of us in that block being on wooden posts tied up, and we end up quickly tossing the battery to Set. How we still have it, who knows? He starts controlling the mech, and it starts just brutally taking out some of the Nazis, grabbing the lady by the face, tossing her down, taking out more of the Nazis. And as it's taking out more of the Nazis, the crazy lady ends up crawling towards us, and we get a real good look up.
It crushed her face, by the way. It didn't just grab
good chunk right here, just missing
her jaw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she's got a real fucked up look, and from there, again, just like the knife guy, just starts talking shit to us. Like, you'll never be able to escape me. I will fucking find you. I will make you feel pain. Like, I want to say good writing, but like if you're trying to be brutal about it, like she is very good writing. I mean, good as in like tone and feel and vibe. Like, I don't feel good when I'm hearing her say all this shit to me with that fucked up face. So after she gets done with a bunch of that, the mech end up grabbing her and then throws her against a tree, falling off the side of a cliff.
To be seen later.
Yes,
I'm sure.
we do.
She's probably, yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert, we do. I put here, now we ride. So for all that stealth, Preston gets to be big shoot 'em up guy.
Alpaca Nation?
Yes. And we get on top of the mech, and we're able to control it with turrets and unlimited missiles. So we just start blasting our way through the prison. As we make our way through, we help Set get to a truck and lead the rest of the prisoners to get into there so everyone can escape. Here, cue the McGordon shoot them the fuck up score as the prisoners try to escape, and we just take out a whole bunch of guards and people trying to come at us. After we take out all those people, which are a very lot of them, we get onto the truck, and who guessed it? Crazy lady is back, still with a fucked up face, and is dual wielding assault rifles, trying to stop us from escaping. I thought she took out Bumbate because he is in the front of one of those cars that she is just mowing through, and you can just see like people doing these numbers, you know.
She took out other people for sure.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people. Yes, there's definitely dead people from her. But we end up just driving past her and make it back to HQ. We learn here that the Dyat Ishud were inventors / engineers. The Nazis stole their tech, and he knows a place where
we can say.
Go ahead.
I do think. Could you imagine being a prisoner in one of the other blocks? Like you know that a whole block of prisoners escaped, but you're just still stuck. Ooh.
So I don't know if it was just the other block, because Bombay was in the other block. I think Set wanted to free everyone, so I think that's supposed to be everyone in the prison.
Oh, maybe that would be I'm
pretty sure it's everyone in the prison. Well, whoever survived.
Because we did turn off all security cameras and security systems. And
if you're watching how many people come through that door, like when they're escaping the prisoners, like it's a long while and there's a lot of people. And I'm sure that a handful of them got smoked by the crazy lady or her dual wielding assault rifles. So yeah, we go back to the HQ. We find out the Nazis stole their tech. It's for the Dyat Ishud. And Set knows of a place where they kind of store their inventions, or like kind of like a secret vaults. But to get to one of those, we need to steal a Nazi U-boat. To do so, we help Caroline repair a device, as she has a plan to use that to get to one of these U-boats. So again, go on a little fetch quest. Set can help with fixing that little piece, but we need to find him a torch. So here, there is a cutscene that you can miss. I unfortunately did miss it. But for us, there's a bed you can go to where... I think it's a bed. Or with our timeline, you go to Jay's room, and there's a guitar. If you pick it up, it kind of starts a little bit of cutscene with Jay. He's like, obviously, the white timeline, and then Tekla is part of the first timeline. You can get a different cutscene with Tekla if you go to sleep in a bed. I think it's Anya's bed, which is really funny. This cutscene is, I think, very funny. To where she's doing the creepy thing to where like she's sitting on a chair like on the side of the bed, and BJ was like, "What the fuck? What are you doing here?" And she just goes off in this like psycho tirade of like, you know, you died, but like your consciousness was gone, but like, is the person that came back when you came back you, or is it just like has your memories, and just goes on this whole thing. He's like, what about the soul? And she's like, oh, just fucking, that's a horrible like example or horrible like excuses to like what happened. And she's obviously supposed to be like either a descendant of Tesla or something like that, a genius essentially. And so it's funny because Anya is still asleep during this whole conversation that BJ and her have. And as we start talking about the soul, she gets pissed off and like leaves the room. And as soon as she slams the door, Anya wakes up and is like, what the fuck? And like BJ's like, it's fine, just go to bed. But you end up going to Tekla's room, and she's like sitting there around a couple guns. He's like, she's kind of talking to them about this kind of same situation. And he's like, what do you have these guns for? She's like, to protect myself. He's like, do you know how to use a gun? She's like, no. And there's that kind of sweet moment where he teaches her how to use a gun. And I thought it was like a really good cutscene. With us, we get Jay with a really fun cutscene that I'm really pissed off I missed, but I end up watching it later. But you pick up his guitar and he's like, essentially like, hey, don't touch my shit. But like, do you even know how to use it? And BJ's like, yeah, I know how to play the guitar. So you sit down and he ends up giving you like,
I'm an American.
He's got like a little little vial dropper or whatever, and he like ends up getting some water from a sink in his room and ends up like dropping it in your mouth, and you're just tripping balls and acid, and you go bam, 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 and you get all the psychedelic kind of visuals going on with it. I thought it was really cool that both of them had two different like really good cutscenes.
So did you guys get that cutscene? I got that cutscene.
I missed it. I totally fucking missed it. Like I felt so pissed off when I saw the Tekla one. I'm like, oh shit, I missed a scene. Yeah.
So it's actually the Tekla one sounds fine. I actually think the one we got is better and incredibly done.
With him talking about like, okay, you're going for Nazis. Like he's like in America, like
he says,
you white man, you were the Nazi for me.
He literally says like, back home you're the devils, which is
he says Nazi
like. He does say Nazi. Yeah. He says
and
Nazi.
that's why BJ's pissed.
It's so well done because he's like, oh, do you know how to play the guitar? He plays the guitar. He's like doing his music. And he's talking about like the rock and roll difference and so on. He's literally like,
it's a really good scene.
He's like, don't touch my shit. Don't. That's what you guys do. You take your stuff. He's like, back home, you're the Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's just so well done because then he gives him like acid and kind of like opens up his mind and frees his mind. But it's just it's this interesting thing. Because the game is like, we're fighting Nazis and look how bad the world is because everybody is unified behind this one great evil. But don't forget that, like, you want things to go back.
1950s,
it's like
1960s.
You want things to go back the way it was, but it doesn't mean that the way it was good for everybody. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was just like, it was really good bit of nuance
fucking great writing.
That the writers did in there that I thought was fantastic.
Yes, very, very good. So after that cool scene, we find Wyatt or Fergus in the hangar, and they say they dropped the torch and that we will have to go get it. So just like with the Saw, we gotta do a little exploring outside the HQ. We go back to the original door we came in from at the very beginning in part 1. We asked Bombate to kindly let us through, and he gets up. And just again, great dialogue, great writing, great speeches from like everyone in here. And he lets us pass, and then we go through, and we end up doing some swimming, end up doing a little bit of climbing. We find the strobe upgrade for the laser, and take down some robo-Nazis to grab the welder. Get back to the place, HQ. We drop it off and get the coordinates to Anya, and then this is where BJ does the whole thing. He's like, oh, my fucking errand dog. I'm like, yep. When you go to HQ, you're going to be doing a little bit of fetching questing. That is how it is. So we get the coordinates back to Anya. She wants some one-on-one time before we head out.
Which sounds like it's not the first time, by the way, everybody's talking.
Yes. Who was it? I think it was Max's, quote-unquote father. I forget his name already. Not Clive. It's
Klaus.
Klaus, thank you. So Klaus is there, and he's like, fucking again over there. He's like, wrap it up. We got to go. We're leaving. And they have like a sweet moment together, which is really nice. I like that it doesn't take it too far with all this. It's just a nice, normal thing that people do.
It is, but it also sounds like, which I thought was a little weird, but whatever. It also sounds like they're planning on making a family, right?
Yes.
And that's what they're working on at
but
that
also,
moment
Anya
in time.
kind of is like telling like, well, maybe not just yet. Like, let's take care of what we
like,
need to take care of.
it's not a good time.
Don't bring a child into this. Yes,
right?
correct.
Yeah, well, I mean... Yeah, I have actually... Go ahead. Yep.
I'm going to continue on to the next mission, so if you got something to say with this section...
No.
He's going to spoil things coming in other games.
First of all, I am not going to do that. I'm just saying that there's...
He knows.
There's
4 games.
But yes.
So,
who knows what more games.
Yeah, there's 4 games. We get to the repaired tunnel. We get to the tunnel where we have the tunnel glider to navigate the Berlin sewers and catacombs, so we can get into the central munitions stockpile of the Nazi regime. Anya helps us navigate the sewers and the catacombs as we make our way through. BJ starts to have inner dialogue about his past with water. So a lot of side stories of like when I was a kid here, when I was a kid there. Again, great writing. And on top of all that, we're getting these audio logs from Anya from her cousin Ramona's diary, detailing the death of Jacob and how her hate for Nazis grew, talking about observations of the Nazis she's killed. And as we get into this later on, about how she's even trying to like abort a pregnancy due to the fact that I think it's like a Nazi, like essentially, no, rape child, essentially. It was horrible thing. But yes, it's again very good, serious writing. Doesn't take itself too lightly. Like gets really into like how fucked up this type of era is, especially if the Nazis won. So here we get more swimming / driving the glider. Playing with water levels, and then we end up taking an elevator to the catacombs. Here, Caroline tells us we need to take a train loaded up with munitions, but more importantly, torpedoes going to the U-boat, which is part of her plan. Here, we get the Tesla upgrade and make our way in stealthily or not, entirely up to you. So I will stop right here for this section. I tried many times to go through stealthily, essentially left side going through, you kind of get that dog area with the first officer and the other officers right there, and you can take some guys out. The checkpointing in this section, you don't get until you hit the button to change the tracks. So I died a handful of times here and then ended up just like, I know where things are. I'm going to kind of go in guns blazing.
Where did you struggle with the stealth part here? Because like, if you just walk around the left and through the doors in the back, you can sneak up on the first guard of the dog. You can sneak up on the guy, the commander with the alarm. Where were you struggling on this part?
That section with the guard and the dog. So the the first couple times, like I would throw like a knife at that guard and someone saw it to where they yell out and the other officer starts getting guys in. But that little section is not the big problem. The big problem is when you start to slowly open that door and you get the big robo guy there. So that is where I had a little bit of problem to where I just like, he would smoke me when I opened the door. I would try to run around, but there's still guys around. It just, I did this part way too many times. This is what extended my playtime for sure. Not everyone is as good as these games as you guys are. Some of us take a little extra tries.
I wouldn't even. It's funny to me. Like you're rushing. Like I see that door. I saw that like press the button, and I'm like, I'll press the button. I'm not gonna press the button until I murk everyone in here and know that like I'm safe to press the button. Right? Like I'm not just gonna like first let's make a bunch of noise if everybody's not dead.
Yeah.
Also, what were you shooting that guy with?
So at first I was trying with the assault rifles because I had two of them, but it's better to use the laser craft work because you can kind of move them if you have a big enough upgrade. Yeah. Obviously, once you hit the train tracks to change, because at first like, okay, go the train. It's like, oh, you need to change the tracks. I'm like, fuck. And that's when you open the door and kind of go through that situation. You go into the tracks. There's a lot of guys down there. You can kind of kill most of them from the top area. But once you get back down, that's when two of those robo guys. And I tried that section many times to the point to where I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Ran past both those robo guys and whoever was there and just went straight into the train, pressed the button, and left.
That's what you're supposed to do because I killed two of those robo guys with no problem, and four more popped up.
Oh, so you have to.
So I was like, oh, okay. I think they just want me to like run, go, and that's what I did.
Yeah, that took me a couple of times where like I didn't notice the four other guys popping up. I'm like, okay, one guy can take out the second guy, and then more little small guys around. I'm like, fuck this. I played this section way too long. Let's just go ahead and jump in the fucking train.
Yeah, I think that's what they wanted.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we end up taking the train, meet up with the team at a nearby station. We empty their torpedo. We get a couple of munitions for the resistance. Then we empty one of the torpedoes so we can fit inside of it. Someone else takes the train up to the proper Nazi unloading point. It goes into the U-boat, and here we exit into the U-boat and get probably one of my favorite upgrades so far in this game is the shrapnel upgrade for the shotgun. Mm-hmm. And in the U-boat, it is a great upgrade because you've got some tight corridors. You shoot one of those and the ball just bounce around and take out dudes. Very, very fun. But you can also stealth your way, or not, to the command deck. So I stealthed most of my way through here until you got to like the barracks area where you had like a bunch of the beds. That's where someone saw me, calls out, and I just kind of... And you get past another door, and the guy, the commander, I guess, is like yelling at you, like, "Hey, person on the boat, we're gonna kill you," blah blah blah. Like, so they want you to be found to a certain point, but that's where the stealth stopped for me for sure. So as you get further through, there is a command deck area with a big battle to take the U-boat. This took me a couple tries, but once you kind of get the idea of it, just keep moving around. Don't let them get you cornered in a spot, and you'll be fine. We found out, once we get the U-boat, we find out it has a nuclear cannon. But the captain went down with the codes. White states that the only way to get them is the lunar base.
Incredible turn.
Which I thought was, I remember hearing about this. I totally forgot. I'm so glad I forgot about this lunar base. This is a good, like, a little reveal for me.
I thought it was great.
Apparently, we have taken the U-boat to the Dyat Ishud vault location. Which, like, there's sometimes where, like, you just get quick jumps in the timeline. So, like, yep, we got the U-boat. Yep, we're now here at the Dyat Ishud vault location. Set opens up the vaults and tells us that they were helping the Allies until the Nazis dropped the atom bomb. So we take a shoot down and do some light platform shooting up a doped design to bring the elevator down and bring us back to the vault. As we're going through the vault, picking up some items, Candace calls in with a lead on someone who can get the codes, but they're making their way to the lunar base as well. She says we have to hitch a ride on a troop transport to get to the lunar shuttle. She's going over things. Set finds a large orb that he says can stop the train, and Wyatt or Fergus finds a sweet-ass Dead Space / 1998 Lost in Space movie chunk suit I put here, where it's just like chunk goes through, but like it looks like a Dead Space suit, but also I don't know if you guys remember seeing the 1998 Lost in Space movie, but Matt LeBlanc, the guy from Friends, he has that really cool helmet that goes like chunk there, and that reminded me a lot of this suit, which I think is a great design. And here is where we stop as we are on the way to the Gibraltar Bridge.
Did you complete the puzzle here?
Dude, I was so pissed off. So this is what I mentioned about this area, is that I'm going through, I'm like, I pressed the first one, I pressed the second one, I'm not realizing it's a puzzle. And then I'm like, okay, well, the next thing in line is the thing that Wyatt is standing next to, which starts the cutscene. I'm like, no, there's a whole puzzle here, and it starts the cutscene. I'm like, damn, I didn't do it. So did you guys finish it? What's in there?
Yeah. It's all of these puzzles have been upgrades for the laser gun. So like,
is this a laser gun upgrade I missed?
Yeah. Well, it's probably one of them. So like when I was fighting the guys earlier in the train with the laser gun, I can shoot those things like 2 or 3 of those big like balls. It's like boom, 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 and they just melt. And if you hit somebody with like a person with it, they explode.
Yeah, I saw that.
But
like,
this is just
like insta-kill. It's crazy.
So yeah, this is just another upgrade to that gun. Which
do you remember which gun it is? Like which upgrade it is? Because I didn't look it up.
No, I don't remember.
I should have looked it up. That's my bad.
I think I've got
I'll
6 or 7 upgrades for that gun.
Yeah, I've been getting them as we go through. Like I mentioned them, but like I went through like I pressed like one of those 2 things. And then I saw that like piece like next to Wyatt. I'm like, maybe there's another thing you just press, and it starts cutscene. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do it again. So I was so close to the end of the playthrough. But yeah, that's the end of part 2. Obviously, part 3 will finish up the game. But yeah, let me hear your guys' experiences, your opinions on this. I think fantastic writing. It all looks great. Christian, we'll have to talk today or tomorrow so we can kind of take a look at my settings, because I'm still getting really bad texture pop-ins. I'm getting bad frame rates, like especially in the HQ. Like I'm getting bad frame rates in HQ, like running around, like just in that main section.
It must be settings, but who knows if it's also something to do with like NVIDIA or what? Because like
I think I'm at low settings. It should not be that bad.
Playing Silent Hill F, I have a better experience playing that game on my Steam Deck than I do on my PC. And like when I play on my PC, I couldn't get the frame rate right. Everything was being choppy and whatnot. Where like on my Steam Deck,
it could be a driver thing. Like you know, who knows? Like
I'll double check on their driver updates and stuff. But yeah.
What I mean is like you could be on a 2 newer version that's not. We'll take a look sometime this week for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
So
yeah.
I guess either today or tomorrow. Because
that's why I said today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy the game so far. I think there was one part of this playthrough I didn't love, but every environment they have absolutely nailed. Like I said, like it wasn't it to make me feel a certain type of way in the very beginning when you're in the concentration camp. But then like when you make it into the barracks area, the look of it and the way they just have like bunks on bunks on bunks stacked, and like the people in there when you go down the body chute, and just like every piece of detail. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Holocaust Museum. I've been to two, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like one in Boston, one in DC. I don't know. I've been to two of them. They're always incredible, but it's terrifying, right? Like it is, and they capture that in this scene.
There's one here in Chicago, and there's one in St. Louis too, and they're both really good.
But it's not really just
good.
as good as history can be, right? It's not just that scene. Like the environment of the U-boat was incredible. Like you felt the small corridors and the small rooms.
Also,
and
it reminds you that they're called stormtroopers in Star Wars for a reason. And then you go through these like corridors where it's like bright white and these tones. I'm like, this just looks like an Imperial Star Destroyer like that you're in. Like obviously there's some chunks in this to it, like less like futuristic stuff. But like I'm like, oh yeah, that's clearly where George Lucas is getting, like, because he got a lot of that from like World War II and stuff like that. I'm like, oh shit, this is like almost like a Star Wars level.
Yeah. So the environments in every place are absolutely incredible. The only part I didn't love, I thought the glider, the water glider, was a little drawn out because you're not fighting any enemies. You're just puzzling, and it's like raise water, lower water. That was the only, and I know there's a lot of collectibles in that area that are just impossible to see. It's like I don't feel like barely maneuvering around this area to search it. But beyond that, I thought the whole playthrough is incredible. I think the writing is really well done. It is goofy as shit in some parts, but I find it really interesting that they balance this like really goofy writing.
I think that's the masterful part about it. Like it's because if, like, to your point about the work, like the concentration camp part, right? It's like when you're going through that moment, it's definitely a heavier moment, right? Like you're like, Jesus Christ, like there is some, but you have to find ways to bring like brevity into this sort of story, but not have it feel out of place or like hackish or anything, right? And so it's like I think that to me it shows the high skill of the writing team here, because you're just like, not everybody would be able to pull this off. Like people try to be funny during like what would be serious stuff all the time, and it almost never goes right.
The biggest part of the Marvel shit. It's like you got some serious tones, and all of a sudden someone does like, he's right behind me, isn't there? Isn't he? Like kind of jokes.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't match
right.
Up with
Exactly.
what we're doing here. This doesn't.
And like,
yeah.
Well, and even again, like even the guitar scene where it's just like, hey, we're collecting, and like, and he talks to your main character of like, back home you're a bad guy, but I don't believe you're truly a bad guy. I think you don't understand what you did before all this happened. And like it's almost like it's using what's happening now to be like, open your mind and realize that like the oppression is bad for everybody. Like it's just so well done in that stuff. When you get the nuance, I think they nail it. So I like it all so far. I like the gameplay still is fun, and like when you get these upgrades and people are just exploding, it continues to be funny, right? So like it's very well done. I still, even with everything, I still expect to see Frau, whatever her name is, show up. In a weird mech suit. I expect like a weird. No.
If you don't see the body, like that's my rules. Like if you don't see the body, she's not dead. So she's coming back somewhere.
She's coming back.
She told
us
she's gonna find us, so she's coming for us.
Yeah. I like the little additions of the acknowledgement of the lunar base and what's to come. There was one interesting moment that I had where we went to the Dot Yishu like location, and it felt very Assassin's Creed-y to me. But it felt like anytime in Assassin's Creed, you guys, I don't know if you played the newer games, right? So like, not the Animus, but in the newer games, it's all about those like weird eternal futuristic people.
Oh sure,
that you run into.
Sure,
and it felt that when you find the vault, that's what it felt like, right? Like these really smart.
I think to be fair, I think these are before those newer ones. This is before those newer ones.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, I'm sure probably is, but still, like that's what it felt like to me. But I had this moment where I was like, this feels like what they wanted to do and could never nail. And I think it's because in those games, it felt like a shoehorn of, we can't do an Animus, so we need an Animus stand-in, and that's what this is. Where in this game, it's like we already live in a world of future technology.
Right.
So it makes sense. And it makes sense that the Nazis weren't smart enough to come up with it they stole it, which I also loved the addition of. But it also works because we know historically the Nazis had groups of people that were into the science and the science fiction and the occult, and like that's what
Indiana Jones and stuff like that. They're always trying to find something to give them an upper hand.
Well, just historically, like they had those, like they had people stationed in Antarctica. They had people in the North Pole. Like that's what they. It's just I don't know, man. This game just the writing is so well done. We always bitch about how hard writing is, and to have this deep writing come from a goofy ass boomer shooter is so funny.
It's great
to me. It is. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Sure.
Yeah, so for me, it's just been like a trip down memory lane, basically. But like, it's been great. I love this game. I love this series so far. I mean, again, I've only played 1 and 2. I never played the side games, but so I am excited to get to those. But, it's just so like the biggest thing that I can say about it is that I think so. Like, obviously, Alex is now in this too. He's starting his journey, but we're all, we collect stuff, right? Like the older games. I don't have there's very few like modern games that I have in that collection, mostly because I just don't have the feeling of like, if I lost them tomorrow, like it would be like, well, what are you going to do? Like if PlayStation shut down its servers and I couldn't get, it's like either A, I might have it somewhere else, or B, like, am I really gonna mourn the loss of Killzone Shadowfall? Probably not. But like, so, but this was maybe one of those things where I'm like, this definitely needs to be one of those games that I actually like. I've had it.
I bought New Blood because I saw it for like under $10 at the place when I was looking for Christmas gifts. I'm like, well, because PC's gonna give me some trouble, I'll just pick this up just in case and put it over there.
Because I've had the digital versions forever through PlayStation, but I was like, I
don't think they ever made a collection. They should make a collection of all 4 of the games. Like obviously they get the bundles in Steam, but like a box collection of all 4 games would be really cool.
Well, they plan on doing one more, so I think because it's supposed to be there. Because those 2 side games, but then there's supposed to be a trilogy. It's supposed to be like 1, 2, 3 with all this extra stuff around it. So, which is why also that I was shocked when Indiana Jones got announced, because I was like,
thought you were doing another one. Yeah,
I thought we were finishing out, but who knows, right? But yeah, so that's the biggest thing is I was like, I need to go get that stuff and have it because
it's cheap.
It is just.
It's not expensive. Like you can get like PS4 copy and stuff like that. Like it's not super expensive. Like you're talking less than $20.
I kind of want to get. This is so stupid because this is just my brain, but I kind of want to own the 360 copy because I want to know what that would even fucking.
Or PS3 copy for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Or either one. My guess it would. No, I bet you this.
It probably looks how it looks in the low settings when I play it on PC right now. Because you can definitely tell like they're making it run on something less quality for sure.
But it's just great. I think the writing is good. I think that the but then also the gameplay, like you have like what Alex talked about when you get the all the upgrades that we have for that laser weapon now. There's times where this game tries to do like big enemies at you and you go never mind and you just erase them in front of you. Like it's so good. I feel like I like the perk system too. Like we haven't really talked about this during any of these playthroughs, but like the way that they do like a sort of Elder Scrolls style like perk system where as you do certain actions you get better, like you get things, right? Like I think is really fun the way they handle that stuff. For all 3, like whether it's sneak or berserk, like all that stuff. I got one for stealth kills. The assault, like, oh, shit. Whatever they call it.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I think that it's the only thing that I want to say is that as I was going through some of this second playthrough part with some of the heavier sort of writing, but then they also are really like, hey, look at these shithead Nazis doing shithead Nazi things. I had this moment where I thought to myself, I wonder if the third one is taking so long because they are like, how are people actually going to receive this game
in
today?
This administration year area?
Well, not even just that, but like, but even before him. Like it was like at the tail end of that, because the second one was. When did the second one come out? Let me look because I want to get my time right on
this.
Like
3 has been
13?
So I just googled it. 3 has been in development since 2018.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm assuming.
But 2.
What I was reading. So I didn't know this. Machine Games did the Indiana Jones game.
Yes.
So
You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
So
Same guys.
So I was reading.
2017. 2017 is when the second one came out.
Gotcha.
So like, sorry, go ahead. Anyway, Alex.
People are worried that this 3 has been quietly canceled for 2 reasons. One, because there's just been no progress on it. But 2, I guess people found a since deleted LinkedIn page of a dev that worked on it, and he said like he worked on Indiana Jones: The Great Circle, but also he worked on an unannounced and canceled game between 2018 and 2022 at Machine Games. And so people are worried it's canceled. But yeah, the article was talking about how loved the series is. There's just been no word on it. And Christian, you bring up a good point. Like, how would people
because so 2017, right? So I remember that in 2017 there was just the beginnings of rumblings when the second one came out of just being like, I mean, can't like we do something else? Like, you know, like they're like a thing, and you're like, no, yeah. I'm not doing anything else. That's what this is about. And also, it's good, and you're stupid, and like you know all these things, right? But it was like very quiet. But I have a feeling that it would be much louder now, especially with how everybody who play like there's certain people out there that are doing the whole like, ooh, this is woke and you know all that dumb shit.
You also have bots. Bots can run a narrative on social media, and they are
right. And too. Like the bot farm, yeah, it's just, and so I was sitting there wondering about that when I was playing through. I was like, man, I know that there are like certain creators that we've talked about here on before that we all 3 of us despise, but like them and their fans would have they would complain if this game was made today, like you know, and I don't know, man.
Not
I just
mention,
but no, because the thing is, I watched the NoClip documentary.
Studio. So yeah,
I watched the NoClip doc. Yeah, I watched the NoClip documentary, and that only came out like I don't know 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah. And they were They were not shying away that this was. They're like, yeah, it's supposed to be a trilogy, and you know we're working like. So I don't think it's been canceled. But who knows, right? Like. With the way with where Microsoft is at these days and everything,
if you don't make $1 billion, Microsoft does not care, which is a
shut
problem, right? Because like it does seem like with the quality of Indiana Jones and the quality of these games, it definitely seems like this is a development team that makes games that they want to play, right? We always talk about that, like what happens when people listen to a community, they make games worse. But when developers, Expedition 33 and other people, like when you make games you want to play, they turn out really good. But is Microsoft's influence too big in the current climate?
Or do they want to break? They made 4 fucking games.
You just had a 5-year break. You made Indiana Jones.
Well, that's the whole thing. They want to take that break to do something like Indiana Jones and not make a 5th Wolfenstein game after making 4 of them in a row. So like maybe.
And I know that one of the 2 DLCs that they did, or the side games, I shouldn't say DLC. One of the side games they did. It wasn't received as well because they ended up changing up the mechanics, and it was like a looter shooter. Like, I've never played it, so I don't know.
That's the Youngblood, right? Youngblood wasn't received as well.
I think so. That's the 4th but one was like a looter shooter style thing, which whatever, right? Like I don't have a problem. Again, we talk about this all the time. I would rather you try something new and it fail rather than just make the same shit over and over again, right? So like
for your trilogy, you would go back to basics, right? Like
I would assume, right?
Yeah.
So, but either way, who knows? It just made me one of those things where I was just like, I hope they finish this out sometime. I hope they get their thing, and I hope that Microsoft or whoever, whether it be after its release or before its release, does not get in their way, because I think that there is. There's something about especially again the 2 that I've played. They're just really special. Like this, it's one of those like a few times in, like I said, in modern gaming where you just feel like this is really fucking quality stuff.
Yeah.
The world building is so good beyond the writing. Like the robot dogs, and not like the little ones that you kill, but like the ones you encounter in the very beginning.
The panther hounds.
The big panthers and like the huge mechs and like all of this retro future they have going on is so cool and so.
And I'm a sucker for that stuff anyway. Like alternate history stuff, like we talked about it. Like I brought up, and no one should ever finish the show because it shits the bed at the last episode. But that's part of the reason why The Man in the High Castle was such a fun show to watch, is because having somebody extrapolate and be like, okay, we're in this timeline of this is what happens if so-and-so won this or did this, or this is history took this turn instead, or whatever it is, right? But then once you make that, you're like, okay, that's an interesting thought. But then as soon as you take that thought, then you have to extrapolate and be like, okay, well, what would it look like if 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? And this game, I think, does just from an art design perspective alone, does an incredible job of depicting how bleak and like brutal everything looks, but on purpose. Like that's what it was supposed to look like back then, and that's what it's great.
That first flyover of London reminds me of like a scene from Denis Villeneuve's Dune, right, where like it's these huge mega cities, like brutalist mega cities of just concrete. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it'd be a great job. So,
yeah. Well, next week we will finish this up. Right, we're gonna play to the end. Part 3.
Another 5 chapters, and I'll finish it all up, and then we will go into Christian's next game, which we had no idea what that was gonna be.
Yeah. And just so we're clear, like when we come back to your game, Preston, like when we come back around to the next one of these, do we play it on the same thing? Like, will it recognize our previous save and import?
It doesn't matter.
So not Old Blood, but New Colossus, yes. So depending on what you did in previous timelines, I think it brings like which timeline you chose over to the next game. I'm sure
but if you start
fresh on a different system or something, I'm sure it'll be like which timeline you want. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I think I like it. I might try and start it up on the PC next time with no cloud save. So
upgrades and stuff will not carry over, I'm sure. But like as far as like the timeline, it'll probably just ask you which timeline you want at that point.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's what it just says. Hey, what do you choose? Or it doesn't. But you'll be fine either way.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. Don't forget to check in with Preston Star Wars Sundays, and we'll be back at you with new episodes next week. And with that, Preston, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.